Hey everybody, Captain Bill here. Just wanted to bring you by one of the local boat ramps here in Franklin County and see what it looks like today at low tide. We got a 15 to 20 mile an hour north wind, and it's at almost low tide. I got about 5 minutes until dead low tide. But I just wanted to bring you out here to the Sun and Sand boat ramp here in Franklin County. That's Alligator Point out that way across the bay. But I wanted to show you guys that take advantage when you have dead low tides, so you can see what you're backing your boat into. That is a boat ramp, believe it or not. Go ahead and walk out here. Normally where I'm walking is usually about 2 to 3 foot deep. It just depends on the tide levels. You can see all those docks over there are sticking straight up in the air. All the land, all the water that's usually underneath them is pretty much gone away. And this shows you how much a north wind on the Gulf Coast will push all that water out. So my plan today is just to visit a couple of boat ramps here in the Franklin and Wakulla County area that I visit a lot, just to give people a little bit of information on what the north wind will do. I noticed something over here. I don't know if it's just water draining down, but it looks like there might be like a little spring or something here. Pretty neat. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this right here. Look at that. It's like a little spring right here at the base of the boat ramp. Pretty cool. There's another one over here. Probably just water that coming up out of the ground. Not sure if it's a spring or not, but it is pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive around the bay, go about right there where the S-curve boat ramp is, and see what it looks like, and I'll bring you along. And I'll go ahead and back up just to show you a whole view. And believe it or not, I put my boat in here quite a bit, but usually there's a lot more water. And go ahead and show you the boat ramp. Definitely need a four-wheel drive to put in and out of here, especially if you have a bigger boat. And there's a fellow way out there. See if I can get him in there. I don't think I can pick him up. There's a fellow way out there on a oyster bar. About right there. He's just out there kayak fishing. All right, well, I'm gonna jump in my truck and we're gonna go to the S-curve boat ramp and check it out, see what it looks like. Hey everybody, so I'm here at the S-curve boat ramp here at Alligator Point. Not sure if you can hear me because of the wind, but right now I'm standing at the boat ramp. You can see how low the water is out here. Normally these rocks here is part of the boat ramp to give traction to vehicles backing the boat in. I'm gonna go ahead and walk out here. And what I like to do, especially on these low tide days, is like really check the water, or the ground when the water pushes out, to kind of see what is on the bottom. You can see where people are power loading their boats there. You see all the way down the point there, all the docks are out of the water now. Pretty neat what a north wind will do. So let me go ahead and walk out here, see how far we can get before we sink in the mud. So in the summer when we have regular tides, this will be like 3 foot deep, I think, at the deepest. And you see we're pretty far from the boat ramp there. Pretty cool. You can see on this pole here how high the barnacles are, to give you an idea where that water is usually at. So, see a crab trap over there sticking out of the water. There, you can see it right there. Pretty neat. Now, straight over that way was where I was at before. That's Sun and Sand boat ramp, and this is the S-curve boat ramp. Just a little old strip of asphalt, and the county put some of the oyster shells or seashells in there for the boat ramp so you can get in and out. And that's another thing too, if you're here, you have to beach your boat, so you have to be careful, especially if you have a fiberglass boat. Where do you actually want to beach it at? Definitely not there on that boat ramp, because you're going to scratch your gel coat or the paint on your aluminum boat up. So, you know, if you were to come here and put in there where there's some dirt patch with the grass, or over here. So anyhow, just wanted to bring you along to check out the sites. Excuse my finger there. Bring you along and check out the sites. And I'm gonna go on down the coast towards McCulloch County and check out what it looks like there. Talk to you later. All right, I'm out here at the Mash's Sands boat ramp. Really nice boat ramp facility here. You see the little footbridge right there, and or the bridge you go over to the little tidal creek in. It's out of the water now. I've actually seen this little canal leading out to the Ochlockonee Bay actually lower than this. Last week I was here on a charter trip, and I was able to make it out of here with my boat. I have a 24-foot Blazer Bay 2440, and I was able to make it out of here. This is not too bad. I'll insert a picture of what this looks like with a negative tide and a strong north wind, so you can get kind of an idea. The water is really, really low, so, you know, be careful in water like this, because you will get stuck if you're not familiar with what your boat drafts. We'll go ahead and walk down the bank here, and we'll go out to the bay and see what it looks like. All right, so here's the parking lot for the Mash's Sands boat ramp. If you're wondering, this is in Wakulla County, Panacea. Nice gravel driveway, plenty of spaces for boats and trailers to park. I should say truck and trailers. See, that's one thing about YouTube is, you know, you're filming yourself. You know, it's you're putting yourself on your spot to come up with things to say and good material and keep everybody engaged. So, still learning. Normally, the water will be up to, let's see, get my feet. You can see where the water mark is on the riprap here, but it's pretty low. It's probably, I don't know, 1.5 feet deep right there, maybe. So I made it through with my boat. My boat drafts about 13 inches, so not too bad. But definitely would err on the side of caution making it through here. I'd wait till the water comes in a little bit. But there's somebody driving out here. They're doing the same thing we're doing today, taking a look at what the water's doing. And here's a turnaround too, if you're not familiar with it. You just pull in, back out, come around here and loop around, and then head back to the boat ramp. So you notice that pier across the canal there, that's the Mashta Sands public pier. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what hurricane it was because I wasn't living here at the time, but it was messed up by one of the hurricanes. My understanding is that Wakulla County has gotten the grants to get it repaired so people can start using it again, and it's a really good spot to catch fish right there too. I'm sure it back in the day it was a really nice pier for people to catch redfish and white trout, whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and walk down here, kind of get a bird's eye view of the water. And normally this is, you can see the seagrass. Normally this is all water right here. So. And that's the Ochlockonee Bay straight ahead, excuse me. Got a little tongue tied. There's more of the pier there. I think when these canals were dredged, they were a lot deeper, but over the years, they've gotten silted in because I'm sinking a little bit when I walk. Maybe not, who knows? But it'd be my assumption is that's what happened, is over the years with the bay, pushed a lot of sand in it with the tides coming in and out. It's really cool to get out here and see this water when it's pushed out. Normally what you want to do is get in your boat and look at all the spots that the water is uncovered when it gets pushed out during low tide. That way you can get a good idea on fishing locations and whatnot. But we're post front 2 days now, and I'm not too worried about going fishing today. Probably Monday I'll go. Probably when I'll go. You see out there, see, I never noticed that out there. There's two, looks like tractor tires or something. We'll go out there in a second, but pretty neat. We'll walk around here and look at the canal over on this other side. And I've stuck a lot of flounder in this area right here in the past. I don't flounder fish or gig much anymore because I have a bigger center console now, so I don't really get to go out and flounder gig as much as I used to. But I do have another boat and have a, I think it's a 1987 or 1986 McKee Craft that I was gifted by my father-in-law, and my intention is to turn it into a flounder boat, but my goal is to make that into a project for YouTube. So stick around for that. Yeah, this water's really drained out of this canal here. Whew. A little slick right here. The old tire. There's folks' houses there. I won't pay too much attention to that. I'll respect their privacy. But you can see on that seawall there where the water line usually is. So you really understand how much that north wind has an effect on the upper Gulf Coast around here. That's pretty neat right there, isn't it? Beautiful day out. If I sound a little out of breath. I swear I'm not that out of shape. Just clogging in this mucky sand. It makes you feel your age. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk back up here, jump on my truck, and I'm gonna try to hit another boat ramp before the tide's starting to come in now. But I think it is gonna take quite a while for it to happen. Give you a panoramic shot here so you can kind of look at the bay. Across the bay there is Ball Point. And then further on down, it becomes Alligator Point, where we were at just before. And this is a good little shore spot too. If you don't have a boat, I noticed a lot of people right here catch fish. I know flounder are here, but you think you have, right here you have your canal going out. You have this canal going out. You have the bay. It's a good ambush spot for predator fish. Walk back here. Cool. Salt marsh pond there. Birds are getting out of the wind. I guess maybe they're the smart ones. You're out here with me, staying chilly and checking stuff out. All right, well, next time you guys see me, I'll be at another boat ramp. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you sticking with me. And if you could, give me a like and a follow, subscribe, and we'll see you at the next boat ramp. All right, everybody. This here is Bottoms Road boat ramp on Dickerson Bay here in Panacea. Some mullet fishermen headed out, and this here's the boat ramp. You can see how low it is out here. Water's really low. Tide's coming back in, but of course this north wind is going to keep a lot of the water pushed out into the Gulf. And that straight ahead is the Gulf of America, of course. I'm gonna see how far we go down here to see if we can see the end of the boat ramp or not. Yeah, about right there is the end of the boat ramp. So hardly ever go out to this boat ramp anymore. Used to about a year or so ago. My new boat, I doubt I'll put in here very much. We'll go ahead and walk down the beach here and see what we could get into and find. Most of the time these big rocks, they'll be out of the water, or in the water, excuse me, because you can see with the oysters on them. And that there is the channel going out. See if I can zoom on a channel marker there. Let's see, where is it at? There's a channel marker there. Now we're walking the shoreline here, headed back towards the bay, back towards Panacea, if you were to looking at a map. Kind of neat to come out here and kind of get a different perspective of the water. I may have already said that in the past sections, you know, like the previous boat ramps that I've visited, but just kind of want to give, especially the folks that don't get out here a lot, kind of give them a different perspective of what it looks like. Not very many come out and go fishing post front. Some do. But what I'd like to do is give people some more information if they fish around here, you know, what the water's going to be like with this north wind. And it wasn't a negative tide either today. I think it was like 0.5. But when you factor in the wind, that changes things quite a bit. So I'm still in Dickerson Bay. I've walked back a little bit. I went ahead and shut the camera off and did a little walking. That way I'm just not droning on about the lack of water and whatnot. But I came across this little area. I want to see if there's any fish in it. Maybe. Oh, there's little bait fish that just scattered away. I'm gonna walk this little, I guess, creek bed and see what's in here. Boy, it's sure slick walking. My boots here, you can see they're pretty muddied up, so I have zero traction. Whoop, about bit it. All right, I'm gonna walk up slow here, see if there's anything in here. Seriously doubt it though, but you just never know. But you know, I would suggest anybody that, you know, lives close to the coast, no matter where it is, it could be, you know, anywhere there's marshland, you know, Cedar Key or maybe South Carolina or Texas. You know, when you have these really negative tides, go and check things out, because you never know what you'll find. It's always worth it to go exploring, I think. I'm probably going to walk up to take this creek back up to Bottoms Road and jump in the truck and probably go on the Wakulla Beach. See what's up this road here. Definitely some water trapped up in here. Clam there. You know, I think with doing a little exploring too, you get to see how the water creates little channels and nooks in the riverbed or the creek bed, and you can see how it drains, and it really gives you a big picture when you're fishing in these marshes, and you could apply that to other places. Especially when you're looking at a map, you can kind of put things together and find out what your prime spots will and won't be. It's pretty high there. I just got mud in my shoe. Oh well, that's part of it, right? Here's the kind of a bird's eye view here of that creek bed I was just walking in. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to my truck. The road should be right there, and go on to the next boat ramp. As I was walking back to my truck, I seen this view of this higher elevation, and I was like, man, I gotta capture this for the folks on YouTube. All right, everybody, we're here at Wakulla Beach now. So the time is 4 o'clock. Dead low tide was at 2. And I looked at the tide chart when I got here, and it's only come up half a foot. So here's the Wakulla Beach, which is also a boat ramp. Pretty popular with kayakers. You see some folks have been driving out here and turning around. Kind of risky, I think, because it gets real mucky out through here. And the drive here it gets pretty narrow, especially towards the end. There's and it's all dirt road. I doubt a wrecker could probably get down here. Probably could. Oh, I about bit it. You can see here the water's still really far out. Paddy's Island. Right there is Live Oak Island. On the other side of it, Shell Point. And right about there is the St. Mark's Lighthouse. I'm going to zoom in and see if you guys can see it. Where is it at? You can barely see it. That's St. Mark's. Like I said, this place is a real popular spot for kayak fishermen. Usually about all that comes out here. It's pretty shallow here in Goose Creek Bay for a bigger boat. Now you can put in at Shell Point and come up here and, you know, fish, but I wouldn't suggest putting anything bigger than a John boat in here. Now this area here, I'm not going to go up to it today, but this is from the old, I think it was the Wakulla Inn. It's like part of their, something they did years and years ago for a dock or mooring or something or other. But back in that tree line there is where the old hotel used to be. I think it was a Wakulla Beach Inn or the Wakulla Inn, something like that. But anyways. So like I said, it's only went up a half a foot. So it tells you that, this shows you that the north wind really has an effect. You know, and really take notice of your tides, what your wind's doing. If not, you could be stuck out here for a while, and you know, with this front pulling in, pushing in, drops the temperatures, and it could be a long cold night. So I'll walk up here and take a picture of the old foundation of the hotel, and I'll insert it in this video. All right, what I'm walking up to is the old Wakulla Inn. What's left of it. Nature's sure taking over. I'll see if I can try to find a picture of what it looked like back in the day. It's a pretty nice building. People leaving all their trash here. Pretty terrible. It used to be a 2-story building, I believe. Like I said, in this video, I'll insert a clip of what it used to look like so you guys can get a picture. And that's overlooking Goose Creek Bay, Wakulla Beach. I bet it was quite a place, quite a destination back in its heyday. So hey folks, if you've made it this far to the end of the video, I very much appreciate your time watching it. And I'd love it if you would subscribe and give this channel or this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Also a charter captain here in the Big Bend and Forgotten Coast. So if you're looking for a great time on the water, give me a holler.